Hello everyone, my name is Jessenia and I will present some highlights of the interviews that had neuro healthcare professional. Thank you so much for making time to meet with me today. Please can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name is Megan Moy. I am a nurse at the University of Virginia Medical Center in Charlottesville, Virginia. I started there this year in February, and I work in the neuro ICU. So here's my little badge.
So did you choose to work in this unit?
So it's not what I had planned or what I thought, but I applied to a few different hospitals before my last semester of nursing school started, and it takes forever to hear back sometimes. And UVA was basically the only one that even replied to me. So it was my first choice anyway, so that's fine. But you just go there and then you pick you can pick up to 3 different units to interview with. So I picked 3 off of the list that was given to me, and I just chose the neuro ICU because it was so friendly and warming, and I just felt like I fit in. So
Yeah, so I heard that you recently graduated. Yeah, congratulations. Please can you tell us a little more about that?
yeah, thanks. That's so sweet. I appreciate it. Yeah, nursing school is difficult, and I'm so glad to be done. But yeah, so in December, I graduated with my Bachelor's of Science in Nursing from Shenandoah University, where you attend. And after that, what you have to do is you have to apply for your license and you have to take the state boards and pass that exam in order to get your RN license.
So this a kind of personal question. Do you think your education enough to get you ready for the nurse?
Yeah, for the most part, definitely. I felt like it was a hard program and it pushed me to broaden my horizons. I'll definitely say that the only main part that was truly lacking was direct knowledge of critical care nursing, and it's a whole nother world. And since I work in a critical care unit, I got none of that education before I started. I had to learn everything kind of like from the beginning when I started there. So not all the nursing programs give you time or space, or there's just not always room for everything, of course. But um, I just definitely felt that lack. I knew I wanted to go into critical care nursing, and just knowing that I wasn't getting any of that education was just a little bit extra challenging.
Thank you for your honesty, Megan. So as you tried some kind of the care program. Yeah, it's a nursing program.
Yeah, there's a lot of challenges. Every day is something new. You always have to keep learning and growing, and just if you don't know something when you work that shift, you have to go home and you have to study, you have to take notes, you have to just keep growing.
Now that we're in middle of the COVID-19 pandemic, what new challenges have you had to face?
But I would say the biggest thing that has changed on my unit personally and just in our hospital is that once we got really busy after all of the elective surgeries opened back up and the people that hadn't been getting care, everybody needed care at the same time then. And instead of having only neuro patients, which I work in specifically the neuro ICU, we end up having anybody that needs an ICU bed.
So you've been saying we a lot. Does it mean you will cook more in teams?
Yeah, it's a lot of teamwork, lots of teams. And so, like I was just saying, we'll have different kinds of patients sometimes. And so, what really throws us out of our loop is when we have to work not with our regular doctors and our regular team and our um, providers, but we also have to, learn these new doctors and learn this whole new team over here, and they have this team and they have this team, and so we're always communicating with different teams, and it's kind of like a group um, mind type of thing where you're in that group and everybody works together in that group, everybody knows each other in that group, and you have to depend on each other because it is difficult and there's so many things that require two people. Just, as a nursing standpoint, we pretty much always work in pairs. I would say overall the biggest way that our group as a team deals with stress is to be funny about it, to laugh and have fun. Just being humble and remembering like why I'm here. If anything is stressful or a hard shift, you just have to stop and pause and think, all right, this is why I'm feeling this way, but that doesn't matter because I am doing this for a reason, and I'm grateful to be here and the opportunity to help others and to be part of their care, especially when usually it's at one of the worst parts of their lives.
Yeah, so do you have to actively on some people?
Not really. Everyone kind of like has the same and like mindset and like knowledge, and so really the only time that I need to change the way I'm speaking to someone um due to like a generation change or something like that is when we're just like not on the same page communication wise. And I think the older generations definitely communicate slightly different than per se my generation. And so sometimes I'll just have to, stop, break it down and be like, look, listen, I don't think we're on the same page. What do you mean by this? Let's communicate. Because sometimes it's confusing, and they have different terms and they remember things how it used to be in a different way, and I have no knowledge of that. So yeah.
So are there any goals that just meet you are working?
Yeah, definitely. So every shift we have goals and there's expectations. And then there's hospital goals of being a nurse. And then there's national goals of being a competent, registered, licensed nurse. And then there's personal goals. So you have to be goal oriented here in this field. And if you're not, they'll make you. Hospital actually has a lot of goals for us too. So we have to set a goal every year, and part of our ability to keep our job is dependent on whether or not we succeed in making that goal or not.
What other types of rewards get from the hospital?
They have a lot actually, and I don't think I know them all, but off the top of my head, we have this thing called a Daisy Award. They even have like preceptor awards and like best educator awards.
How does the hospital unit go about change?
They're very communicable, which I like. In my unit, change is expected. It's kind of weird if something doesn't change like all the time. So working in an ICU changes just every single shift. And so I feel like working in an ICU, all of the nurses and just team members are better prepared for change because there's never normalcy. And it's just like, kind of like working in the emergency department. You never know what you're going to get, and you just got to take it. Can't say no. So I think that our unit does a really great job of lifting each other up and preparing for that change. And it just changes always happening. So just expecting it, I would say, is the best way to prepare for it and accept it.
do you think the future will be like for the type of work that you're doing?
Personally, I struggle with that just because there's so many unknowns, and especially now, it's kind of like, well, what will be opening back up, and when, and what is the virus doing, and things like that. But definitely spend a few years here at UVA learning and growing. I really like it here. And then either switching from a different from neuro to a different unit, or just switching to a different hospital, maybe moving close to family. Since I kind of live by myself out here, it would be nice to be in a different area, and just get some different certifications and just keep growing. So in the ICU, in the neuro, there's a lot of different certifications we can get. If someone's considering going into the medical field, I would definitely say get experience somehow, some way. You won't know what it's like or how it feels to do that job or to have that career until you're in it. Um, I would say that I didn't know what nursing was like until I started. Nursing school is completely different than being a nurse. And I would just say, if you're in school for something, get a job as like a tech or an aide or some type of job where you don't have to have, a degree, you don't have to fully commit your life to. I would say do that, get experience, get in, and do your research, talk to people, just get a feel for it, be a part of it.
So just to summarize, what are 5 things that everyone needs and be the best nurse that they can be?
There's many, but if I had to choose five, I would say having the desire to, and accepting the continual learning process. You're never going to know everything. You got to keep learning. Um, Things change. And being healthy, taking care of yourself, respecting other people's culture. You don't get to choose who you take care of. And being efficient, you got to have those skills. And then being humble.
Thank you for sharing your insights with us. We wish you all the best as you continue your work in the new ICU. Yes, thank you for watching the highlights of the interviews that had neuro healthcare professional. We will see you next time. Bye bye.